ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Oh, rise. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Oh, rise. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Time to stop hiding. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Oh, rise. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready to rise, rise, rise. Oh, rise. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready to rise, rise, rise.
Good morning, everybody. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
So, Molly, just to let you know that we're not only streaming in Get Ready to Rise, we're streaming everywhere. So, on that note, let's introduce ourselves just in case anybody doesn't know us. So we are the Confidence Mentors. We have myself, Sarah Noel, who's the founder of Get Ready to Rise, which is a community interest company. And we have Natasha Holland.
I'm Natasha Holland, and I'm the executive director of Get Ready to Rise, and also the founder of Natasha Holland Photography. And Molly.
And I'm Molly Murray. I'm a writer and a transformation coach. I help people heal from trauma and manifest a life they love.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. It's such an honor to have you here today. Molly, let's publicly just thank you for being a co-author of our gorgeous book, Get Ready to Rise, which we're so proud to say that we've started the journey in sponsoring a young girl through Plan International today. And we just want to acknowledge your contribution to that with your wonderful story, your wonderful, inspiring story. It is just such an honor to work with you. And we are delighted to offer you this space today to talk about your own book, which is exciting. I don't know if you can't see the lights, or you can see Natasha's. You've got it.
I'm absolutely obsessed with it already. So I got this on Saturday. Lovely Molly sent us both a copy, and I'm just keep on being, I'm so drawn to it. I just keep on picking it up and just reading and being like, oh my God, this is amazing. And you know what I love is that when I read it in your amazing voice, because I just love your voice.
Oh, thank you.
I do. And when I was editing the podcast, actually, I was just like, gosh, her voice is totally meant for this. So thank you.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to be a part of Get Ready to Rise, and that was just the best experience ever to be part of your amazing energy in this project to help this girl in Nigeria to rise from trauma. There's nothing closer to my heart, honestly.
Of course. So tell the audience about your journey to becoming an author of this wonderful book of poetry, Misdiagnosis.
All right. Well, where should I start?
Have a little sip. I'll have a little sip as well.
So this goes back. This is my journey of life with chronic illness. It was how I experienced life. I've always been a poet and a writer, and it was, I realized it was sad to me that so many experiences are not captured in mainstream poetry. You know, we have a lot of heartbreak, but we don't have the trauma in your body that happens after that heartbreak. We don't have, you know, the more painful things, the gritty things. And so I remember there was this one moment in particular. I had struggled with these rare, weird, obscure chronic illnesses coming up in my life for years. And I'd gone to doctors both in the UK and the US, specialists. Nobody was helping me. I would have these episodes of extreme pain that were worse than giving labor. And then I would try to recover. And originally I had them like 6 months apart, a year apart. And then it got closer and closer till I was just having so many that I had a hard time functioning in between. And then all sorts of uncomfortable symptoms, like nasty, not nice, just awful. And it just felt completely lost. I was like, who am I? And after I had my son, especially, I just couldn't find myself, and I had no idea who I was. And I found myself being so jealous of anyone who was having a good time, honestly, of anyone who had kind of a normal life and could just enjoy themselves. And my husband said to me one night, why do you hate yourself? And I was like, I don't hate myself. Like, I'm doing everything because I love myself. I want myself to be better. I want to get back to the person I was. And he was like, no, the person who's talking sounds like she's really hates herself, and I want you to love yourself. And so those questions kind of sparked a journey in me. And that was the night that I decided I needed to start capturing these experiences in poetry the same way I captured other experiences. And so this book really dives into that experience of, you know, just being lost and trying to find myself, trying to find my voice and become empowered. And so this is kind of the journey of that as I battled misogyny. There's a huge medical misogyny going on. There's a lot of bias and prejudice in healthcare. There's so much bias and prejudice in society to anyone who's not normal, doesn't have a normal body type, like whatever normal is, but, you know, is like off the grid, doesn't fit into stereotypes. And so this poetry collection is kind of how I broke free from that. But essentially at the heart, it's how I learned to love myself. And you can watch that journey unfold as I started to just celebrate myself, my body, and even love and celebrate my story.
And thank you so much for asking us to review your book. So on Saturday, I was sat in the garage watching the mechanic change all of my tires.
Oh,
So I had some time, but in actual fact, I devoured your book in half an hour. It's so beautiful. The poetry is so, so beautiful. And you really take us on that ride with you. I felt all of the emotions, and so much pride for you having worked with you on our book as well. So much pride. You're a beautiful soul.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm just so thrilled to hear that. It's amazing, you know, to finally birth this book and to like release it. I was not ready to release it for so long. I held on to it for so tightly, you know, like, when am I going to be done? And then as I went on my healing journey a few years ago, and now I'm completely healed, no symptoms, pain-free, med-free. And I was like, I am ready to release this book, and I'm ready to release this story. And hopefully it can help other people and make them feel not alone and help them as they're going through these hard experiences, you know.
absolutely. And we talk a lot about like connection to self, and we talk about this in both communities about connection to self and self-acceptance and like valuing your self-worth. And that's exactly what you've done. You've stepped into self-acceptance and decided to start loving yourself and connecting, haven't you? And that's what the book is about, isn't it? It's about not hiding what you've been through, celebrating what you've been through. And yeah, and that's something so beautiful. And I think if everyone stepped into self-acceptance, you know, it would free a lot of people from all those belief systems, etc. And it is a journey, and we're always on that journey, aren't we? We're always on a journey. There's never a destination. We are evolving constantly as humans in this world. And yeah, that's what it is. It's like it shows how you've evolved, which is something so special.
Oh, thank you.
So this is the run-up to your launch this week. How are you feeling?
Oh my gosh, I'm beyond excited. It's just this amazing feeling of kind of being so fully myself and so fully seen, but also watching as this steps outside of myself. And this is something that is so magical about the creative process and about creations. But it's amazing to watch this book have a life of its own and to mean different things to different people and to see them apply it to their lives. And I'm like, yes, go little book, go. Spread your wings wide. You know, it's speaking to people where they are, and that is just exactly what I dreamed of. It's amazing to have this dream and then watch it come into the world. And yeah, so I'm at the beginning of that, but it's beyond magical, and it's just
You're leading the way for many, and you know, when you step into that and you're leading the way, you're shining your light. And there'll be people out there waiting, and they'll pick up that book, and you'll transform through your beautiful words. You'll transform people's lives, and that's something so magical beyond belief. When you just step into that, and this is what this is it. This is what you're doing. Could you read us one of your poems, please?
Oh, I would love to.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Hi, Andrea. Andrea says hello. Happy International Women's Day.
Okay. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So it's a bit of a long one, but I feel like this is the one that I need to read for International Women's Day. So let me take some tea, have a little cough. I'm all ready.
I had to do that before.
Take your time.
Like, I don't want to cough in the middle of it. So it's called My Voice Wears Leggings. I plan moments in which I'm not in bed writhing, plotting my plan of survival between pills, insurance quotas, signatures, and disbelief. The proper amount of business days to lapse between refills, according to politicians, at the beck and call of the dictatorship of cold hard cash, kissing the asses of FDA-approved drug lords, pharmaceutical furors exterminating victims by coercion, insurance moguls, and my doctor, who is fearful of healing me and losing her own stash of cash. Everyone, everywhere, choreographed to the cacophonous clash of cash. Healthcare campaigning against me to cover their own back ends by cutting off the end of this chain of cash and command, the base of their pyramid, chronic pain patients caught in this nightmare. They only want to survive, to function, to take their toddlers to the park and the grocery, to get out of bed in the morning. Would it be too much to dream of keeping a job or working out? But why take my word for it? Unlike the FDA, unlike politicians, unlike capitalists, my voice is notorious for exaggeration. My voice is historically inaccurate. My voice is ignorant. My voice is not to be trusted. My voice is unpopular. My voice is exhausted. My voice is shrill. My voice is fat. My voice is curvy. My voice wears leggings. My voice is in pain. My voice is uncomfortable. My voice is a woman's voice.
Oh gosh, wow. That is very powerful and very
So
such a
powerful. That is actually my favorite one out of all of them. It really struck me. Yeah. So I thought, right, don't cry.
oh,
So it really got me. I really felt you in that one. Really felt you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, darling.
Well, as I was reading, I was like, oh dear, that's really like, it's centered on an American audience, with like all the struggles with insurance and doctors and just trying to get it paid for, or even like, it's incredibly hard to even get your prescriptions through the insurance system, like get them at all. So, but I'm so glad to know that it, translates over these international lines and, that you feel it too, even if you're not in that particular situation. I mean, over here too, so much. So
no, we feel it, and we know what goes on over there, and you've just felt your pain. Really felt your pain. So tell us, Jack. Does Jack know that you're launching a book? You're a gorgeous little boy.
Yes, he's very excited about it, but it's not really. He just knows it's why I've been busy and haven't been playing as much. So I don't.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of a little jealous of it.
He's got book envy, has he?
Yeah.
And does he understand the journey that you've been on?
He understands bits and parts of it, and sometimes he'll come out with really wise things. I actually, one of these poems was dedicated to him. I mean, they're all kind of inspired by him because they're inspired by the journey of motherhood and trying to be there for him as I was dealing with all these things. But one of these poems, Sea Monster, is about his reaction when I got a laparoscopy for endometriosis, and they cut open your belly, and so he actually had to come to the surgery. He didn't watch it, but he was like in the waiting room. So he's been such a part of this process. He's always been so there for me and very understanding. And but it was just so sweet to hear him at that time kind of like explain what's happening in his own words. And I think the other one, Stars, really comes to me too. That was a big revelatory moment for me, where he just sees me as beautiful, and he was trying to like decorate my tummy, and I'm like scars, fat, when I see him, like not what I want to see. But he just takes me as I am, and that love is just so transformative. Yeah. I mean, he's impatient and, wants mommy to have more energy or be done with the book so she can play Legos, that kind of thing. But deep down, he's got these incredibly wise moments and like nuggets of wisdom and like just like an old soul.
And that's your energy, because your amazing, beautiful energy, and that kids absorb that energy, don't they? What advice would you give a lady who is in the midst of what you've been through now, what advice would you give that lady if she's watching now and doesn't really know where to turn and feels unheard and in pain and trapped? What would your advice be?
A good question. So just begin to love yourself and to start listening to your own voice and to really respect yourself. And like once you start listening to your intuition, and honestly, that took me a long time to do, to trust myself enough to listen to my intuition. Actually, someone last night actually asked me like about essential oils, and I was like, well, this is why this was such a big deal for me to start them, was because I always did what doctors said. You know, I waited for the doctor's advice. I was not used to going off and starting something, you know, trusting my intuition or my own research and just doing my own thing. So I would say just trust your intuition, like do your own research and trust yourself. Like, you know yourself more than anyone else. You know your body better than anyone else can possibly know it. Like this doctor might be the expert of this one thing, but they are not the expert of you. You are the expert of your body, and begin to trust that. And so if you're just in the middle, at the beginning of that journey, wherever you are, just keep walking through it, keep trying, don't give up hope. And you will find your way out or find your way to a place of peace. But I believe in healing. Like healing is miraculous and possible and powerful beyond what we know. You know, doctors, surgeons are discovering new things all the time. They know very little about what is actually happening, what we're going through. I mean, things like endometriosis, which a lot of people have, are extremely under-researched, and there's a ton of ignorance about them. So if you hear one thing, go talk to another doctor, or just trust yourself, you know, to guide you. And if you're not feeling in your gut that what somebody else is saying is right, trust that, you know.
Absolutely. I'm sure we've all as women had these situations where we know, especially I would say as a mother, where I've known something wrong with my child. And people just keep on saying, no, everything's fine. And I had this problem with Melissa when she had sepsis, and they kept on telling me that I was being a crazy mother, and she just had a cold, and then she like almost died in front of me, you know. And I keep on having that burning, like something's happened, something's wrong. I can feel, you know, I'm very into my intuition. I'm very connected. And it was almost too late, a couple of minutes even, and she was being completely starved. I just had a baby, and I just had Imogen, so I was, you know, breastfeeding. She was a week old, and the doctor, male doctor, was just like, "Oh, you're just being a new mother. It's your hormones." I was like, "There's something wrong with my child." It's as if I could smell it. It's our primal instinct as women to be able to actually really smell and sense it. She nearly died. So, like, what you said there is so true. Like, trust that, you know, if you feel disconnected, reconnect with yourself through a lot of different things. And, you know, I think the first step is connection, self-acceptance, and meditation, and really respecting yourself and treating your body like your temple, and going inwards. You know, I love body scans for this because it makes you really aware of your body. And yeah, so that's really an important bit of information you've said there, because that could just go and help that one woman who's sitting there feeling forgotten.
That's right. And you can be lost in the medical system so easily. You know, like you could go see a lot of doctors, but they're not communicating with each other, and no one knows that full story of your health. And one huge problem right now that doctors, I've never heard a doctor actually take this into account. I actually learned it through my own research, was trauma. Trauma is the biggest health risk. There's a doctor, okay, I don't remember his name, but in America, he was the head of, I think it was the Trauma Foundation. I don't remember which one. But anyhow, so he said that trauma is the biggest health risk Americans are facing, and that was a couple of years ago. And, you know, I think it's the same worldwide, because trauma impacts your cells. It damages your cells, whether you're going through emotional or spiritual trauma or physical. It damages your cells, and then your cells are open and susceptible to all sorts of threats, or, you know, they could be overprotective because of that and turn in I don't want to use the word attack, because your body is always working for you, but they could turn in and start hurting you in different ways unintentionally through like an autoimmune disease. And so by healing our trauma, we can really heal the diseases around us that are kind of attacking our body. And so, but that's the thing that doctors don't generally take into account. Like when you go to your GP, you don't really tell them what happened the years before, and if you tell them, they would think you're crazy. They don't think that has anything to do with, what you're going through right now, but it's part and parcel of that.
Absolutely. I can see that. I can definitely see that. What would your advice be for someone who is trying to heal from a trauma?
Oh, I would say heal from yourselves. Really, self-love and self-acceptance are the most amazing places to start. Start listening to your own intuition. Start trusting yourself and your body. It's a process and it is so possible. Often we think as once you've been through trauma, you're different or you're changed. And it's true, like your body does go through a lot of changes, but that doesn't mean you can't heal. It's not the end of the story. Whereas a lot of times people kind of make judgments about people who have been through trauma and say, they've been traumatized or they're damaged in effect. But actually, it's like other things, we can heal from it. And so just knowing that we can heal, knowing that it's possible is an amazing place to start.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. What does International Women's Day mean to you, Molly?
Oh, well, to me, it's just a time to celebrate being a woman. It's a time to celebrate stepping into your own, hearing your own voice, using your voice, rising up, becoming empowered. It's an amazing day to really celebrate that. And so that's what I'm celebrating today, at least.
You have a lot to celebrate. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. So if anybody is interested in finding your book, how can they find you?
Oh, how exciting. Okay. Well, look me up on Facebook. My group is Manifest Healing with Molly Murray. If you look through groups, it's facebook.com/group/Manifest Healing Now. And you can keep in touch there. You can keep in touch on Instagram at Xlibris Molly Murray. That's Xlibris Molly Murray, like out of the book of Molly Murray. And then my website is mollymurrayhealingmagic.com. And so I've got all the information there. But yes, I'm releasing on Saturday and I am beyond thrilled. All the profits are going to help this girl, the same girl that we're helping through Get Ready to Rise. I wanted to continue to sponsor her. So all the profits are going to help her rise. And the book will be discounted for that date only for $4.44 on Amazon. So buy it, share it with your friends, send me the receipt and tag me in those posts. And I'm going to gift you a free month in my new membership, the Indigo Collective, which is about emotional empowerment. It's about, dealing with toxic people, toxic relationships, kind of it will give you the tools to rise out of that and to use your creativity as a strength instead of a vulnerability. It's really a membership for empaths.
Wow. Oh, wow. We need to be in there, don't we, Tara? Where do we go? Wow. Molly, that is so generous. And I have to say, it makes me so emotional and so happy that you're donating towards this fantastic girl that we are helping. This is what we need to do. We need to give back, and what a fantastic way to give back to someone who really, really needs it. And change someone's life. This is what it's changing a girl's life. Like, that's just the most amazing thing to be able to do for a girl who really needs it. So I have to say, thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for just beginning this with Get Ready to Rise. One thing I talk a lot about in my work about healing from trauma is creating ripples, and people who are not healed create ripples and waves of destruction and more trauma. They project their trauma on other people, but people who are healed or are healing or on that path create ripples of healing for others. And so I really feel like Get Ready to Rise is that, creating these ripples and waves of healing. So I'm so happy to be a part of that too.
Oh, thank you. Exactly.
We love you being a part of it.
Yeah, you're such a big part of our community, and thank you so much for helping us grow it too, and being a big part of it and supporting the ladies in there too, because it's such a safe environment, and the ladies are all supporting each other in there, and it is when women get together and support each other, it's just magical beyond belief, because we're not just healing ourselves and those around us, but we're healing past trauma, we're healing ancestral seeds, etc., and we're paving the way for the future, for the next generation coming forwards. And every single time we connect as women and heal like this, it does create that ripple effect, like you say. It spreads the light to the darkest corners that need the light. So we need to keep on going, don't we?
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, what a gorgeous conversation. So I have dropped the links in the copy. So if anybody does want to, but honestly, I'm not just saying it because I love Molly. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous book.
It's beautiful. How you've laid it out. I'm just going to show everyone how you've laid it out, because I love that.
They're all laid out differently, aren't they? It's very clever. Very, very clever.
But that helps me with my reading, because obviously I struggle with reading, with dyslexia, and that helps me. It really satisfies my brain for some reason. So thanks, Molly.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I work a lot with space when I write. I love kind of the open page, and so that just makes sense.
Celebration. Wow.
That's a good one.
Oh wow.
I know.
I would read it out if I wasn't gonna just mess up like I did the other day.
Makes sense.
Can I read it? Can I read it?
Because you can read out loud. I'm still not there yet.
Is that okay?
I
can't find it. Hold on.
Page 100 and I don't want to mark the pages. 109.
It's a good way to end this beautiful conversation. Okay. Happy International Women's Day, everybody. So, Celebration by Molly Murray. Here's to the girl I don't know, the one who spends every penny of herself but can't get out of bed, highest when she is lowest, running hardest, pushing, working, sweating. To run it all, here's to the girl. I am trying to learn, learning to love. Let's celebrate her. Celebrate me.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That was beautifully read too, Zara. Well done. That would have been a lot different.
Why, thank you.
Started a lot with
Oh, thank you so much, Molly, and to everyone who has watched this or just catch on replay. Have a gorgeous and, in Natasha's words, delicious International Women's Day. Much love.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye, beautiful.